Hello and welcome everyone to tonight's episode of the Relics of Old. It's been a couple of weeks since we played, and I apologize for that. But the last time our adventurers delved deeper into the Grung encampment, fending off a few Grung themselves, a magic wielder holding a staff that Petunia ended up coming in possession with. And in the storeroom that this battle took place, there were several crates of gray stones that seemed to hum and vibrate near magical items. The group ventured a bit further in, finding some enslaved farmers who seemed to be coated in this grung ick. Defeating all of the grung, save for one disgruntled employee. The group wrangled every slave up, basically, cleaned them off, and herded them to safety would be the best way to do it, best way to say it. Before deciding what to do next, coming to the final hallway and turn in the Grung's encampment, we pick back up at the H hallway. So, what would you guys like to do?
Well, we've gone up. That's where we sent all of the others.
Correct, yeah. So in the giant storeroom that you had battled the other Grung and found all those stones, the remaining villagers are more or less huddled in that room.
Yep.
3 with given names, and 3 that actually had names prior to you giving them to them.
So go down that hallway. I know the sign said beware.
Beware the long hallway.
The long hallway.
Yeah, this would be the long hallway, though.
Hello?
Hello?
I think my headset died. Hold on.
I wouldn't disagree. So, the 4 of you, oddly enough, can I get a marching order of who would like to take point as you continue to go down this hallway? Which I know is a very loaded question that a DM would ask.
I have a low perception, but I will go first.
Okay, so Petunia is taking point. Who would like to follow behind her, and then behind them, and then behind them?
I'll be somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Think at number 2, Iso number 3, and Eniara bringing up the rear?
Evidently.
Sounds like a plan to me. All right. So you begin to descend down the stony tunnel. And again, it kind of moves away from that kind of like nicely finished look that the last areas have had, and it begins to go back to more of like a rough, naturally formed cavern. And by cavern, I mean tunnel, to be very clear. As for Petunia, though, you do notice that it does widen out and up, so you feel like you can actually stand upright for the first time in probably like 2 hours.
Ooh, Petunia gets to stand up.
Oh, my back. Oh.
What you do notice, though, is that the tunnel continues to dive down at a pretty steady angle. As you continue to walk for maybe another 15 minutes or so before it finally levels out. So significantly far down. It is very, very dark as you are very away from all natural light sources. This affects nobody in the party at the moment because Petunia is currently casting light. Iso has a lantern, and Fink and Iniara both have night vision. So what you notice as you kind of continue to look down this long hallway, that's what it is. As far as your eye can see as this thing goes, it is just more of the same rough stone as it continues. Another 10 minutes passes as you continue just to steadily walk this way. You do begin to notice a couple of things, and all of you do actually, because this is not too difficult to miss with the lighting sources available. But you do notice fragments of bone on the floor.
Sorry, I missed that
And
last bit.
You notice fragments of bone on the floor.
Okay.
Varying in sizes, in chunks. Some of them are chipped away, some of them are broken away. You do notice like a long femur at one point. And they are of different sizes too, not just normal humanoid, like medium creature sized, I guess, or medium human sized. You do notice some that, as best you could tell, those kind of look like frog bones as well. Can I get everyone to roll a perception check? We'll finally get to rolling for tonight.
16.
16.
I get rid of the big dice anyway.
I got 11.
You got an 11?
I also got an 11.
Your screen should update here. If you go all the way to the right, you will find your characters again.
Yep.
Iso, what did you get on your check?
14.
14. That's a pretty good check. Let me rearrange everybody quick into your marching orders.
I was gonna say, when's it
So
gonna
you
go, but
guys-
it just went.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I mean, I think again,
I was worried that it wasn't
my
gonna
actual
go.
Roll 20 seems slow. Not sure why that always is, but it seems to be the case. Here, Iso and Iniara, which one of you would like evens?
I'll take evens. Unless it's a
Better
5.
odds, so.
Gotcha, perfect. Iso, can you roll me percentile dice now?
Oh, look at that.
Because the two of you notice something, and I want to see if you're able to stop Petunia from walking into it.
Stop Petunia, huh?
32.
She's gone rogue. 32. All right. With a 32, I would say you do indeed. As you notice and are able to kind of pull forward and grab her shoulder before she steps another foot forward, you notice a thin, silvery, silky string that lines this hallway. And as the both of you kind of begin looking more and kind of bobbing and weaving just a bit, you see that this hallway is filled with spider webs.
My dear, stop!
I don't think you want to step any further.
Oh,
Can I tell what?
okay.
Are they very big spider webs?
You find them very difficult to see. Why don't you roll me an investigation check as you kind of try to size it up a bit.
13?
13? Surprisingly, yeah, they seem rather thick. You would imagine these are all from very large spiders. Sorry for those of you at home that do not like spiders. Says the person covered in actual webs. Or the one in webs is freaking out.
Yeah, I don't like
I mean,
spiders.
Spiders are gross.
That was very.
That doesn't mean my
apropos for this
character
situation.
feels the same.
Okay, then I'm not going to apologize any further because this will get worse.
Ooh.
Iso,
I think they're very big spiders down here.
Iso kind of squats down and he picks up one of the bones and examines it. Can I kind of tell how old some of them might seem if I give you a medicine check?
Sure, yeah, give me a medicine check.
Let's see here. 13.
13. You kind of look around, you pick up a couple of different bones. You see some that look very yellowed with age. and another couple that look quite white, or as white as they could be. So you feel that there is a good variety of bone here, some very fresh, some not.
They might have had lunch recently, and he'll pick up one of the bones that seems like the freshest.
Mm-hmm.
They always save their
It's
food for
rather
later.
long. You would probably estimate that it looks about the size of like an adult male.
Adult male frog?
Human. Sorry, I should have clarified that last bit.
Yeah, a
that
little
kind of
bit.
changes.
So it could have been an adult
things.
male
D&D
ogre. I
embraces.
mean,
Very true.
this would have been bigger.
Also, I don't think all of these bones go together. I don't
lovely.
think it's just frogmen. I don't think the spiders are very picky.
Since when have spiders ever been picky with their food? If it's food they eat. And they also stash some away. I don't recommend touching these spider webs at all.
Do we need to go down this hallway?
Ah, I'm good. Let's go back. Let's go. Let's book it. Might be able to stand, but it's not worth it.
Clearly there are no grung over here. They're all dead.
Mm-hmm. Beware the long hallway.
Right, but aren't we supposed to clear out this camp? Would this be part of the
Spiders after?
camp?
Just had to bring it up, didn't you?
I did. I'm sorry. I thought that we were doing this.
Back?
What if we block them in?
Oh, we could do
Do
that.
a cave in.
But what if there's another way in through the back? Can I
Dude,
tell
got
if
that
there's like a
tiny thing.
draft or something that would tell us if there's another exit?
Sure. You kind of
Living
remove your
underground?
glove, you lift a finger and kind of hold it up. You do give me a perception check. 'Cause,
Okay. Can I get advantage on this from being an undergrounder?
Yeah, I'd allow that. Seems reasonable to me.
Okay, good, because otherwise it would have been a nat 1. What is this, perception?
Perception.
Alright, 16.
16. It takes you a moment, but you do feel a bit of a draft coming from the far end that you're heading towards. Kind of thing. So there is a small air current that's making its way through this tunnel.
I don't think this is necessarily blocked off in the back. I think there's another exit. Not to, tell us to keep going, through spiders and whatnot. I mean,
You are just full of good news.
I know I am, but, I mean, spiders don't bother me as much.
Oh, well then you're offering to lead. Well, after you.
I feel like I'm at a 7 out of 14
Julia,
for
don't
health
worry,
right
She's
now.
gonna take point.
All good.
I
All
mean,
good. We're not turning around then?
I'm not saying that my kind does a lot with spiders anymore, but we're still kind of used to it from the old religion. We
Does that mean you can talk to them?
no. I'm a wizard, just not a druid.
Does that mean we're going
God.
forward?
This is a group thing, I
'Cause
guess.
I don't think my flamey thing will do what you think it'll do.
I don't have fire either. But this is part of the camp. Maybe they're not so bad. DM, what is the least bad spider of this size that I would know about? Not the worst, but the least.
The least bad? Man, you are testing some knowledge here. Give me 2 seconds
Whoa.
and I will... Ooh, things I didn't think about.
Things you
That's-
didn't think I'd
that's terrible.
ask.
Yeah. the least worst that you can think of is probably just like a swarm of spiders, and maybe they just kind of worked in unison.
I don't
and that's
think
why the cords are so thick.
I'm not that optimistically.
You're not
I mean,
that
out of a large
optimistic? Okay,
spider.
What about like a
Realistic.
giant wolf spider kind of thing? You know that they would make relatively thick cords.
But I know what a
and
trapdoor
might
spider
just-
is like.
Would you know?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Roll me some percentile dice.
Because I know this is slightly meta, but it makes sense down this long hallway to have trap spiders, plus we stopped her.
Maybe.
5?
On percentile?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are well aware of trapdoor spiders.
Is this a
And,
trapdoor
with
spider?
the 5, this looks like the perfect setup here. And you think if you guys are not careful, one will come out of the wall at you.
Do I know how to get around them?
Don't touch the webbing.
Okay, that we can do. Wait. I think I might know what these are. It
Well,
helps.
yes, they're webs.
Yeah, but I think that they're trapdoor spiders. So we could sneak past and not touch the webs, and we won't have to deal with them. Like, I don't know. Would we have to basically hug the one wall and scoot across it?
You can certainly try, but the
What's the
webbing
best
is
bet?
kind of covering the hallway.
Oh, it's a hallway.
You know that they pretty much use them as sensors to determine if something is nearby.
So, I mean, other than that, unless you guys want to fight them, we could throw one of these bones into the webs, hope it sets the trap off, and it comes out, and we have a surprise round. Or we can try to sneak past. If we
can
want to
give them
keep
all-
going.
We could give them all to Boldre and burn them alive.
I'm not against that. You know,
I
I'm
have
really
10
not.
flasks of oil. I don't know how
Uh,
long the hallway is, though. It might only get us like a quarter of the way. I mean, it is the long hallway after all.
It is. Hey, let me just scooch up next to, Petunia without touching anything. Let me see. What do I see with my 120?
With your 120 feet, it keeps going.
Is that stairs I see at the end?
Maybe. Can't be certain.
I think there's stairs and
And by
maybe
stairs, it's
a
really
turn.
just a slope slightly upwards.
Well, it's a slope. There's an end and I think maybe a turn at the far end of what I can see. So give or take 120 to 130 away. Huh?
I would agree. You think it does look that way?
I don't know. This is a group decision because I'm obviously not going down this myself.
I just rolled an intelligence check for myself to see if he would know how many flasks of oil it would take to cover that distance, and he rolled a 1. He has no freaking idea.
Yeah, pretty much. You think you might have enough, but it's kind of hard to tell. You either think you'll cover about 10 feet in front of you or the entire hallway.
I don't want to waste all of my lamp oil here. I mean,
Do we have a torch?
if
We
we
could
go
just set it
somewhere
all
else
on
that's
fire?
If we have enough to light it on fire.
well, how about this? And he will hand over one of his flasks of oil and say, "See how much this does."
Do we have a way to set it on fire?
Oh, trust me, there's someone in our group who knows exactly about fire, and he'll look over at Petunia.
Like I said, I don't think.
Oh wait, Fink has
my
done
fire will
bonfire
do what you
before.
think it'll do.
You're just setting
Every 6
oil
seconds
on
I can
fire.
create another one. Down the
but
hallway.
I don't think it'll actually ignite
That
it
would be helpful.
because it's radiant, not fire.
Think, how many more of those giant bonfire things can you make?
About one every 6 seconds.
There you go.
Why have you been quiet this entire time?
I'm just letting y'all hash it out on your own. But I only create one, and then it disappears, and then reappears. But flammable things do catch fire.
That's. We could do that on the
Educated.
trap. I'm assuming the spider's going to come out if we do that. But we would have it, the upper hand by having spells ready if it pops out.
I mean, it would catch flame
But it would.
or run away because it's hot.
But it is its home
I know
that's on
nothing
fire.
about
What if it
spiders.
fights? I mean,
Well, how about this? You guys light a light a fire, and me and Iniara will prepare spells to hit anything that's still moving.
I like the way you phrased that.
Well, might be twitching, but still worth a double tap.
yes. What is my most powerful
Quick
spell? That's a
question.
cantrip.
How wide is this hallway?
About 7 feet, which I know works really well into Dungeons and Dragons. But
Right.
it's wide enough that you guys can kind of spread your arms and touch the sides, not feeling too claustrophobic. I mean, that's still fairly claustrophobic, but you've got enough room for yourself to comfortably move around. Kind of single file, more or less. I mean, if you really want, you guys could be side by side in 7 feet, but for combat, not as much, because people get crazy in combat and you don't want to stand next to that.
I may have only lit one other party member on fire before in a previous campaign. They walked into the giant oil spill. They knew I was lighting it on fire.
Don't worry, you've done it to someone in this campaign too.
It was radiant damage, not fire.
Well, if we need to clear this out, I suggest we at least start progressing.
All right.
Do we have a plan?
Sounds good to me.
Where would you like the first bonfire?
Well, I'd say probably the cord that Petunia almost walked into.
I mean, otherwise, or do we hit for the far back and it's got further to get to us? Granted, it could set off the ones in between, I suppose. I think we put Iso in front. Because you've got the best... You've got a shield. That's what it is. You have a shield, you can, like, block the hallway a little bit more.
Oh, sure. Put the old man first, and he'll give you a wink as he walks past you.
You have the most experience.
It was either that or Fink, who's, like, a rock from head to toe. But I think your shield could help, like, block this a little bit more.
Sure.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's...
Iso moves to the front of the pack. Presumably Fink behind him so that bonfire can be cast. Petunia and Iniara behind both of them. Where would you like to cast your first bonfire?
Are we gonna go further out?
Or the closest one, which is the closest one this one?
Is that where Petunia was when we caught her?
Roughly, yeah. Ignore
I'd say right
the
above.
staircase directly underneath you guys.
It's part of a slope
I
that
can
we
only
came
do so
down
much
from.
with the map. But yeah, it was the slope from a little while back. So, and again, for those of you that can see a good distance, about 100 feet out for sure, you can see spider webs kind of sprinkling the hallway.
Do we just see these two here, or is there a third?
These two what?
These two what?
I can see two
nothing.
spider webs on the wall.
You do see way more than that.
Okay.
It is littering, like it is consuming most of the hallway.
Okay.
And it is
So these
like
two
strings
spots
all
are-
over the place used for tension.
Yeah.
You think, honestly, kind of looking at it, if you felt dexterous enough, you could probably dodge your way through this hallway. But it might take a couple of attempts to ensure success.
I will look at Iso
If that
a
makes
little bit
sense.
and go like, I don't know if Dex will work.
Oh, most certainly not.
I cast Bonfire.
You know, it'd be so much
Alright.
cooler if it was
Right there.
Fireball.
So we had me in front, so I'd be
Fireball.
right about here, right?
You'd be roughly where Petunia probably is now. Okay, so we'll just bring everyone up just a little bit here. I know I'm a little laggy on Roll 20 myself, so. Anyway, so Iso gets his turtle shield at the ready, kind of plants it in the hallway. Fink pokes a kind of like tilt your head around, and then you don't extend a hand. You kind of just stand there, and then fire just starts erupting underneath the silky string farther down the hallway.
I hold
Um,
Mind Slipper or any creature moving that comes out.
okay,
And I will hold Sacred Flame
gotcha.
because
You see that the spider silk itself begins to slowly smolder and then just catch. In that whole section of the hallway, you see about 6 or 7 different strings just light on fire, illuminating that area briefly. And for that instant, Iso and Petunia, you can see that with the shine of all of that, that there is probably hundreds of strings down this hallway.
One down, 400 to go.
Yeah.
joy.
Every 6 seconds we
With
can get
that,
more. Or we take care of the spiders that are
one
in here.
Slowly burns away, and you see the silk kind of smolder and die off into the walls as the bonfire kind of rages just a bit longer. Do you cast another one? So far, nothing seems to be moving.
Sure, I'll do it
Which
right.
makes sense for you undergrounders, knowing Trapdoor
Here.
Spiders, is that usually it isn't one or two that sets it off. It's potentially proximity towards these things that would cause it to leap.
Mhm.
I've never met a spider like this before. It's scary.
Yeah, they're a nuisance. Pretty common
Next
though
one?
for us underworlders to have to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
What is a nuisance that you have to guys worry about here on the surface? I don't know.
Are we moving forward? Or are we...
We're still trying to burn up more hallway.
Okay.
Right. Fink, did you want to throw down another one? And or where would you like to throw your next one?
Keep moving it forward 10 feet.
10 feet? Towards the group or away from the group?
Towards, because I already put it 60 feet out.
Okay.
That's as far as I can go.
Hey, I can move it. Remember those promises I made last time about us fixing the internet? Well,
This was a
turns
different
out
issue.
I was wrong.
No, different
Well, that
issue.
wasn't-
This was somebody unplugged a cord.
Right. All right, let's try this again.
Yeah.
All right, so Fink, you cast the second bonfire. Again, there's that moment of darkness before the second one catches fire 10 feet away from the first. The spider silk itself begins to smolder before it just takes a light. 6 or 7 of these strings are again, burning throughout, and you can just see that illumination and the shimmer of all of the spider silk. And then in an absolute instant, you don't see any rock, you don't see any rubble, you don't see the wall move. But out pops a massive spider that ends up sprawling the entirety of this hallway, legs kind of splaying diagonally across this as it's looking at the fire and then tries to bat it out as best it can. I believe Petunia and Iniara had held actions. If you'd like to go ahead and do those, I believe I need to save on both of them.
Yes, int on me.
And dexterity for me, which you'll probably
All right.
see. But
well, on the dexterity, I got a natural 20. And let me just pull up my
should have done a
stats.
range.
All right.
But...
You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
And my intelligence save is a -2.
Oh. Wait, so that means you rolled a what?
Why do you care?
Just you total of -2?
I have a total of -2.
Okay, well I'm casting my Mind Sliver.
Yeah.
Which means it'll also get to subtract 1d4 from its next saving throw. So... how much damage am I doing?
D6, if I remember correctly.
Probably. Yes. 2 points of damage.
Of damage. Perfect. All right. As this thing has now popped out into the hallway, taking a little bit of damage, let's roll initiative on this guy and see how quickly you defeat it.
I got a 15.
Ooh, that's not too...
I can just put it in. That's great.
You can.
Okay.
Did you set the mood with the battle
Combat music?
Oh, of course not.
Because we always forget this.
Who would do such, appropriate things?
I would not. That's too far. That's advancement.
Right?
Ooh, Finks Dex is
Okay.
about there
Perfect.
with ESOs, isn't it?
I swear I put things in there.
You did.
What did ESO get?
No, Dex, not Inish. Dex.
there it is.
I'm just watching the stream.
I
it's
understand.
bad.
Finks is
Well,
better.
It oddly appears that Iniara, you get to go next again.
Woo!
As we have now got battle music playing in the background.
We do. I am going to do... Let's figure out. I'm going to do Chill Touch. Means I get to attack
Chill
it.
touch. You get to attack it. Perfect.
16 to hit.
16 will hit.
That'll be 8 damage.
8 damage?
Yeah, I rolled max.
Jeez.
It's
All right,
necrotic
this
if
thing's
it
looking
matters. Ooh, I'm
it's
gonna be
exotic?
creepy, and I'm gonna have like a bunch of little spider legs come up and grab it.
All right. Sure, why not? So you have little skeletal spider bones. Spiders? Do they have bones? I'm gonna sound like an idiot on the internet again, so I'm just gonna stop talking. So bony spider legs come up and latch onto the spider's leg, kind of pinning it slightly onto the wall as it slowly saps energy from it. Anything else on your turn, Iniara?
No, I'm good.
Okay. That works for me. The spider gets to go. And it turns around. And it sees a nice, big, juicy turtle. And you see it deftly kind of weave in and out of its own silk, kind of slinging off of it as it screams, chitters, and comes up and latches fangs first into you as best as it can try to do. All right.
You took the dodge
8.
action before?
8?
No.
You sure? Pretty sure.
Let me double
Turtles
check
don't
here.
have AC. Come on.
Let me double check here. Let's see.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're also running. If it's under half of your AC, it's an auto crit.
Oh, well then, no.
Oh, dang it. All right. So you see poison come dripping off of this spider's fangs as it scrapes across your shield, and you see little smolders as it comes off of the shield itself of the acidic nature of this poison. Petunia.
That's vintage.
Yes, I would like to cast Toll the Dead on this spider.
Toll the Dead at a D4 penalty.
It is, and it is a wisdom.
What's that total?
1.
Oh,
I rolled a 4.
no.
It was a -4 plus 1.
Well, not quite. So that is 6 points.
6 points of damage.
Of
Dang.
damage.
No, this thing is looking rough. As many spiders as you have definitely fought, this one is definitely the grossest and most dead that you've seen so far.
I've run away from the rest.
Fair enough.
All right, so with bells echoing down the hallway a bit, anything else on your turn?
Sorry, no, I'm not moving anywhere, and I don't have any bonus actions right now, so.
Okay. Think. Up next.
I'm gonna hide behind the meat shield and cast bonfire.
This one
I'll
doesn't
just
have
move
the
the
D4
bonfire
because it was
forward for you.
used.
Ooh. All right, that's actually not bad. 14.
I got this shot at that.
It'll be your spell save DC.
Yeah, it made it.
It made it? Okay, so you see it. Oh, no. All good? I'm still here. Okay. I grabbed my cord and bumped it. Okay. You see it kind of anticipate the fire as it sort of crackles up underneath of it. You see it kind of stretch up and plant its walls high above this fire that's burning on the ground below it. So it is kind of up in the tunnel now. Anything else on your turn as you are crouching behind a meat shield?
Nope. I think I'm good.
Iso, next up. This thing is looking pretty rough. You've got a fire raging underneath it.
Iso's just gonna peer over the top of his shield down at this spider and repeat that. That was a vintage piece, and take a swing down at it with the
All right.
hammer. So
Works for me.
that is a 18 to hit,
Uh-huh. Yeah, that'll hit.
and 9 points of bludgeoning.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. All right. So you kind of peer over the turtle shield that now has a little bit of a fang mark into it. You think that might fix itself based on the imbuement that Fink has given it. But you see this hairy, spidery face right in front of you. You just right down into the bonfire that Fink has just created, and you see the spider just begin to roast immediately. Not moving, not twitching, not screaming.
Well,
Dead?
there's.
Dead.
I think that one's dead, but they usually have more than one in the group. It's at least
down,
2 or more.
400 to go.
I don't think there's quite 400. What is it, like 2 to 3 is their normal? What do I know?
Normally. Doesn't mean this one's normal.
I know. I mean, there's probably more. Should we just clear out all of the webs while we're here? And then we don't have to worry.
Yeah, we're here already.
Sorry to put this on you,
Second
think.
Bonfire. Because I'm assuming it's burning the webs, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
I've got nowhere else to be.
Every 5 feet.
Just kind of erase it down the hallway as you go.
And
Yeah.
I ready spell
Okay.
just in case another wolf spider or trapdoor spider, whatever these are,
Gotcha.
comes out.
So this
And it
one
will
is
be
dead.
Mind
I'll
Sliver
just
again.
Move it out of the way. You guys begin moving down the hallway. How far would you like to go, or just clear the entire thing? All the way. Okay. So you guys move on down the hallway. Come on, pick that back up.
I think we're gonna try and
Dislike
stay.
at times how hard it is to move and or grab these circles.
I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Noise.
Clearing out as you go, and oddly enough, up to this point, absolutely nothing. So far, it just seems like there was just the one spider dipped away, and clearing all of the silk as you guys continue on down the hallway, all the way up until you get to that bend in the hallway that Iniara had mentioned earlier. And you do indeed see that the hallway kind of expands off. There seems to be a little bit of a small room here with a curve up towards the very end of that 20-foot section. And off to the left, you just see a wall. Seems to be this little alcove for almost no reason, which definitely means there's nothing behind it. 100%. And as your fire begins to move, you do see a couple legs kind of pry away a couple of stones, and a couple pebbles roll off to the side. As you see, as you guys can see, let me do some quick magic.
Oh my.
You see that spider and a large cavern behind it.
Oh, I don't like it.
As again, a couple of stones roll off of what looked like a very natural wall a moment ago, until you again see the spider peer forward through it.
Bring it on.
Oh, shit.
Well, this is going to be quick.
I'll throw a bonfire at it if I need to.
We'll start with Iniara, top of the order, because you guys kind of knew this was probably going to be coming. There is no real surprise because it's already at the end of the turn order. So
It needs an int save.
do what you will. It needs an int save. All right.
Because I
all right,
clarify, I said if I saw something coming out doing the same thing, I was gonna do Mind Sliver.
Fair point. So I rolled a 14, so 10.
Sweet. It fails.
Crazy. I
Oh,
never would've
it
thought of
takes
that.
6, and then it has also the
Hey.
D4 problem.
Nice. I wouldn't call that a problem.
Oh,
The
well,
spider might think it is, but
that's what I'm meaning. Like,
that's
it's not
still
a
really
problem
good
for.
spell.
I love it, and I
Right.
think as she levels up, I'm gonna start changing it to look like a needle or something.
Sure. We'll say that you're able to shift over and get into good view of the spider without getting caught in its crossfire.
Yeah.
So with that, you see it kind of take that damage, and it squirms around a bit in this rocky opening, cascading more stones down, revealing more portions of this hallway as we move over to Petunia, who cringes very slightly internally, but with the fortitude of a Fearball stands strong.
Can I see it from here? I mean, I can in my screen.
Yeah, no, you can. If you can see
Cool.
it on your screen, you can see it.
Then it definitely needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Add a D4 penalty. Good lord, why do I keep rolling D4? Like 4 on a D4. Alright. 13.
It makes it. So
It makes it.
nothing.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's expected.
It is.
At this level.
But your bells still kind of ring throughout the hallway. It doesn't seem to listen to them this time, either psychically deaf or like deaf to these bells or not. You're not certain, but
I'm gonna stay where I am with not reacting to that. I'm like, nope,
Gotcha.
I'm good.
All right. Think. Face to face with a now kind of opened area, and you do see a similar looking spider as the last one, kind of trying to crawl its way through at the moment before you guys ambushed it.
Well, maybe I'll just hit it. Sure.
Sure. Why not?
Smack. 15?
15? Will hit.
Yeah. 5.
5 damage? Not bad.
Yeah, that would be bludgeoning, I believe, if it matters.
Yep. It doesn't matter, but it is bludgeoning. All right, so you come forward and smack with a hammer. We move over to Iso, who also is wielding a hammer. Who just muted himself. There we go.
Incidentally, I am also going to swing with my hammer.
Hey, crazy thought.
9.
9? 9 does not hit.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive. It does not hit.
All right, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Let's see.
So it was a big, mighty swing. It seems that Fink had knocked it just a little bit out of its hidey hole, and it kind of scurried up to one side, and you kind of smacked the rocks next to it instead.
Is there any more room to maneuver in here?
You've got about what you can see here. You've got 10 foot, give or take, in this cavern area. You could move towards the rocky outcropping that the spider is currently in like this area. It is kind of a loose rock wall, but you can move up and into it if you wish. If you kind of push into it a bit, it will collapse.
I'll just stay right here.
Okay. Perfect.
That's it.
Okay. All right. It's going back towards Iso. 8 again. So it again tries to lash out. I can't say again because this is its first attack, but the exact same roll for 2 spiders in a row. That's disappointing. Again, you kind of just bash it with your shield, and it knocks more of the rocks loose, and this area opens up even more as we move back over to Iniara.
All right, I am going to do Mind Spike again, so I need a save.
8. That's a failure. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. 1 point of damage, but it has the D4 penalty for.
Yep. Perfect.
Or
All right.
Petunia, who's next?
Yep. Petunia, over to you.
Yeah, I will be casting Toll of the Dead with my aura spells.
Ooh. All right.
So,
11. I really
11
hate that
does
D4
not
penalty.
save.
And by hate,
that-
I mean it's really good for you guys, but
It is. That's really good. But
Slightly why I
I'm
took
gonna
it.
Use that. Oh, 10 points
10?
of necrotic damage.
Oof.
it is looking really rough now. As the first time it shook off those bells, but this second time you kind of get more into it, like I need more cowbell kind of thing. You really just start racking it. And you kind of see one stone above it kind of loose and smack it in the head at the same time. So this thing is really, really hurting. Fink.
Smash it, Fink!
Come
Smash
over
it!
to
Do you need a bigger shoe?
Smashy, smashy.
you. Smashy, smashy.
13?
13 will hit.
5 again.
All right. With that, kind of that same idea, Iniara kind of offers you a bigger shoe, and you're like, nah, I got this. And it splatters just a bit. As yet again, you guys make very short work here of spiders. Just takes one failed save as you guys move down that hallway. This is a whole different picture.
There was no news for saves because we burned everything.
Exactly. No, it's a very smart way of moving down this hallway and safely taking care of it. So kind of moving that around, you are able to burn away all outstanding webbing, and you, at this point, feel pretty good about the fact that you've got them now. The webbing at this point in the hall stops, and you don't see evidence of any others in this area. But there's this cavernous area behind it.
And then
Or
there's the slope up.
upwards.
We just...
Guys, there's something in here.
Yeah, let's do the cave first.
So, as you kind of move back into it, you do see several cocooned bodies that you would probably guess are a couple of frogs or grungs, and then a couple of larger ones that look a little more human-sized, if you will.
Should we check and make sure these aren't like the people we're supposed to be looking for?
Make sure it's not the prince or princess.
I mean,
Correct.
they might be.
It doesn't hurt to... I mean, they went missing a long time ago. If this is them, it'd be the
Then
bones.
we can maybe find something that would.
Yeah. So in the webbing
let
to
us
the
know.
far right of that room is where you see these cocooned bodies.
They never said they had to be alive found.
That's true. Well, if we find it, they now know what happened to them.
That's true.
Now, do remember to stand back just a little bit in case when you slice the cocoon, all that comes out is goo.
Mm.
So the rest of this web, is it useful for anything?
I was about
Coming
to say,
from
I would like to cut.
If you'd like it to be, sure. I mean, if you can think of some uses for it, definitely. I
Well,
mean,
I'm trying
you'd
to
be able
figure
to
out-
salvage a fair bit. I mean, assuming that Fink didn't go through and just burn it all away.
Well, I think in this room, since we can tell there's no spiders in here, it's gonna...
I'll go help you.
I know,
I'll help you with
because
that.
what I know with the drought, I know they have turned their back on Loth, but that doesn't mean they don't use the spider stuff, because it would still be ingrained tradition.
Right. I mean, it's still engraved in tradition, as you said. I mean, they turned their back on Lulth itself, but that doesn't mean, as you said, that the cultural practices didn't fully die with spider and the use of spider silk. So I
It's
kind of
kinda-
agree to that. You would have some things that are made of it.
These things are hard to get. It's just... I'm gonna bring this back home with
Stop burning
me.
them for a bit.
It's not that we know the
as
spider's
you kind of have
gone.
more time to kind of examine it, you do notice that, like, comparative to a rope, it is much thinner. Probably about half the size of your standard rope thickness. But you definitely know it is much stronger.
I know someone back at home that can use this and make something for when I get back there. Oh, look, dead
I will
bodies.
collect some for myself as well.
Okay, sure. You guys kind of go about kind of cutting away small, well, not small, but strands of spider silk throughout this den. I would say each of you finds 15 feet worth of silk.
Perfect.
The other thing you note, other than the cocoons in here, is that there seems to be an old, worn chest on the other half of the room. So either this was an older storeroom that a spider took over, or some other circumstance. You're not sure which.
There's a chest, you said?
There is a chest. Yep. On the left side. Right there.
So we could do detect magic,
detect
but don't those
magic?
stones react to the magic? And that'd be a lot quicker.
Oh, doesn't the staff react to magic?
That was just the flat stones.
No, these gray stones reacted to the staff, not the other way around.
Did they react to Iso's shield? Because that's considered magical now, right?
Yes, but not in the same way. And it's
Not the same
technically not magical. It is
Ability?
it's an ability. So it seems due to the way that
Does it react to my umbrella?
Does the stone react to the umbrella? Yeah.
The same way it does to the staff?
No.
No, it is
Oh,
still
to the
different.
staff, yes. Sorry. To the staff, yes.
Okay.
Artificer, that's the word I was thinking of. Artificers seem like they're casting magic a lot of the time, but it is, in the case of his shield, it's more of just technological advancement, and if it looks advanced enough, it seems magical. So it's kind of just like a retempering of his shield and a reinforcement of it that made it stronger versus
Okay.
like a true magic, if you will. But the stones did still react a bit to this enhancement.
Okay. But my umbrella reacts the same way as the new staff.
Correct.
Well, yeah, we could hold up one of the stones. It'd be faster than the 10-minute takes for me to do detect magic.
Yes, and I've already used my ability to discover if something is magical. So you're our hope.
All right. So you take out one of those dull gray stones, kind of hold it in your hand and move it towards the chest. And as it gets closer and closer, you do notice you feel it begin to vibrate, and then you hear it humming. Only you.
Well, it's vibrating and it's humming. So there's something magical. I don't know if it's the box, if there's a magical trap, or if there's an item inside it that's magical. But there's magic over here. I suppose if we wanted
to try to unlock it, if it's locked, I could see if it's locked.
If I were to do detect magic, would I be able to tell if it's the box or something in the box?
Depending on what the material of the box is, you could determine what's inside of it. There are restrictions,
right,
that prevent magic through working through various.
Well, because you had like the lead lining and
right,
and all of that. But that would tell us if it's inside the box or if it's the box itself is magically trapped.
Correct. You would be able to tell that.
Well, it could be magically trapped, or the box itself is magical.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
correct. You'd be able to identify that.
I can only do this as a ritual. Well, I can technically.
I could definitely use a short rest, and then that would give me a detect magic back.
I mean, I could use a short rest. I'm at if I had 14 max where I felt that was great, I'm at 7.
Yeah, no, short rest might be a good idea here.
I don't think anything's gonna come down this. Well, I mean, we did take all the webs, but though. Let's hope it's ingrained that they know not to come down this hallway.
Yeah, I think we should. I vote yes.
I vote yes, yeah.
I vote yes.
She votes for a long rest. Is there another to push it over?
Oh, short rest. I mean, long rest too.
Sorry, short rest. Yeah, short rest for sure.
Definitely a short rest. About what time does it feel like?
Dark o'clock.
I would say, based on how long you've been traveling, the amount of time you spent within the Grung camp, you did start the day moving towards it, because you did camp out on the shoreline near it. It probably feels like early afternoon.
Early afternoon, okay. So we still have not quite long rest time, where we feel like we would need to sleep for the night.
Depends if you feel like you need to sleep or not.
That's true.
I do not.
I mean, I think just a short rest would be good.
Don't feel like you would, like a short rest might cover you, but depends on how you feel, what you need going forward.
I'm just good with a short rest, but if anyone needs to rest longer.
Think, Iso? Do you? I mean, we're going with short rests, if you are.
I don't know that Iso's been hit. Think maybe once, but even then.
I have.
Okay.
I'm down 2 hit points, but I
Oh,
only
yeah, that's
have.
right.
But I only have
Comparable.
one of my lay on hands because I had to pump 9 into myself.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Because something back there, I think it was the one with the staff, or the whatever kind of beat the crap out of me.
Yep.
The room kind of wrecked me.
Yeah.
I only have 1 spell slot left, but it's fine.
Same.
That's the life of a spellcaster.
Yeah. Early spellcaster, you're like, oh god.
They are kind of monkeying around at the chest between Iniara and Petunia, Iso and Fink, are you guys examining the cocoons? Not to enforce actions or force you to do anything by any means, but I guess the better question is, what are you guys doing while they do that?
Investigating the cocoons.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking to see if these are the kids.
All right. You take and cut open one of the larger ones, because I think you both have knives or daggers on you, so you slit through the cocoon, and a fin and then a fish face kind of lolls out, and you recognize this as a Sahuagin.
Not the princess.
And then you kind of move over and you cut into another one, and it's a lot more decayed and a lot juicier, but again, Sahuagin. And as you guys kind of continue and move through the large cocoons, they are all in various forms of decomposition Sahuagins. No people. Well, I mean, that's racist of me to not assume that the Sahuagin isn't a person, but you know what I mean.
No humans.
All that
No humans.
with the
No humans,
ichor
no
all
elves,
around.
no non-monstrous people.
With all the ichor that has now kind of been spilled out, I'll turn towards the two as they're at the chest and be like, well, don't worry, they were only hooligans.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, thank you. The smell was horrible.
But yeah,
And that's
I could
coming from a turtle.
use that short rest.
Okay. Do you examine the chest beforehand? Do you advance further with that, or take the short rest first?
I think we were going to see if the magic was coming from inside the box or the box, so I think we'd have to do that after the short rest / deer ring. Because I could
That's up to
do
you.
10 minutes ritual and then do a rest.
Sure.
Can I roll?
I'd
to
allow for
seduce
that.
the chest? Oh wait, no, I'm not playing bard.
All right. If you guys need to heal up at this point, everyone is going to be taking a short rest. So any abilities that recover on a short rest will be regained now. There should be a nice little easy button in D&D Beyond that allows you to click the short rest button, and your stuff will recharge as needed for that.
That's really nice.
Remember, if rolling hit dice, you get your Constitution modifier with each die rolled.
I am only missing 1 point of health now. 1 point of damage I have missing.
So as you guys kind of huddle around in the cold, dark spider hole here, the only sound you really hear is the occasional like whistle of wind as it comes down the tunnel. Otherwise, it is deathly silent.
And then I'll do my ritual and detect magic
Okay.
first.
All right. You cast Detect Magic, slowly carving out, and you see the ink flow off of Iniara's hand yet again, smearing over the floor, and then with a faint purple. I think it was purple.
Yep, purple.
Anyway,
It's
the
purple.
ink disappears, and again, the flowing ink all over her body does not seem to deplete. And as that finishes, you kind of see the box begin to glow.
Box itself glows.
An item within the box glows. And
Okay.
it seems small and rectangular in size.
I did not get any health when I did that.
Oh, you have to manually enter the health,
You have to manually roll the health.
Oh.
but it just resets any short rest skills. But yeah, there's something within this
I wrote
box.
down the colors of all my magics. Hang on while I consult my table real quick.
Alright,
Apologies. So anyway, this case is the only item within, or this square rectangular item is the only one resonating within the chest itself. Does not appear as though the chest is magical, as far as you can identify. I just want to get my color of magic correct before I mess up.
I did say that if Iniara, when she figures it out, if she wants me to unlock it, I will definitely take a crack at it.
Sure.
Yes, I don't think that...
I'll need to rest, and then she'll have to rest too, I assume.
Yeah.
After. So
I'll
do it after the 10 minutes.
It glows purple.
Ooh, what does purple mean?
Purple means conjuration magic. And for those, I'm just going to go ahead and list for my wizard all of these spells and colors, or like schools of magic and the colors that go with them.
I'll get a copy of it later.
I'm sorry?
I said I'll need a copy of that later.
Okay, otherwise I can tell you now.
Yeah, you could, but
okay,
you could tell it for the internet.
Gotcha. So for necrotic magic, it is black. For illusion magic, it is blue. Conjuration is purple. Transmutation is yellow. Evocation is red. Enchantment is white. Abjuration is green. And divination is orange. Which I know I said that really fast, but hey, it's recorded.
Right.
And written down.
And it's written down. So yeah, I can provide you guys a copy of that. So I think most of the group can cast Detect Magic, so I will provide each of you a copy of that.
Awesome.
Missing my
I
name
don't have that
sheet.
memorized. I am not. Nope.
I made all of those up myself, so I could be stealing from something else entirely, but I pretty much just chose colors that I thought worked really well for it.
Yeah, no, I don't have that memorized in the sense if you said that fast, there's no way I caught that. Like, whoa.
Conjuration
quick.
is purple.
That's what I've got. So there's
That's
something
the one
in
that
there. It's square
Yeah, so there is
and
a
conjuration.
glowing purple rectangle within the chest. So you have a good feeling this box is not lead lined. Petunia, as this has been identified, you go forward to open the chest.
After my rest.
After the rest, yep. Short rest is had by all. We find this. You place your hands on the box and try to open. Like kind of undo the latch and go.
Try to see if it's locked, yeah.
Sure. It seems to give right away. Does not appear to be locked. Oddly enough.
Okay, so since it's not locked, can I use an investigation to see if it is trapped or try to investigate the box?
Sure, definitely. You can certainly try.
Oh, that is dangerous. Oh, whoa. I got a 22.
Not bad. That's really good.
Nice.
Whoa.
You take a lot of time examining this thing, and oddly enough, having very little experience with mechanical traps and things of that nature, you feel quite certain there are none surrounding this chest.
I open it.
No.
To be fair, the spiders could have been trap enough.
Exactly.
I have died like that before.
Yep.
I've had a character die that way before, too.
I've killed a character that way, too.
Oh, to be fair, you didn't kill her that way.
Well,
a party member did.
That way.
Ultimately, I did, but yes. Anyway, the box opens up, and what you see inside is a small silver amulet and a small little leather-bound kit, or what would appear to be that way. It's just kind of, I don't know, about yay by yay, kind of leather-bound and clasped. And this seems to be the thing that was glowing purple. And as Iniara continues to look, indeed it is.
I hand her the kit.
Leather
and I look
kit?
at the amulet.
Okay. The amulet itself is very plain, other than the fact that it is silver. It is smooth all the way around, and just kind of heart-shaped, but no opening that you can tell on it itself.
What kind of kit is this?
You open it up.
Yep.
Danger.
Boom.
All right. You undo the little clasp and fold open the kit. There's nothing inside. There's spots like it should hold several tools. Nothing inside.
I think that kind of looks like a tool thing. Do you want the tools are not my specialty by any means, but it looks like it might hold the tools.
Yeah, sure, I'll take a look at it.
All right. You open it up. It's empty. Again, slots for various tools, but nothing inside.
Do I need to look at it?
Well,
I didn't look at it.
an hour getting used to, I just need the pearl and then I can identify. But we just gotta find a pearl or we buy one. Either way,
find
we
the
have to
pearl.
find it.
Mm-hmm.
Buy it.
Buy it, find it. One of the two, I mean.
One thing you do notice about the silver amulet, though, other than it is fairly plain, you do think it would have a decent worth if you were to sell it.
Back the kit with your stick. Maybe it's hiding in there.
So Petunia, presumably you kind of take the kit from Fink, you open it up, or like unclasp and open it. Again, it's empty.
Yeah, we might
Tool
want to
slots
wait.
and all of that for tools that should exist of various sizes, but no
I
tools.
reach to pretend as if I'm pulling a tool out.
What tool?
The largest slot, if there's like rings, like in what I would assume an archaeologist kind of set, the biggest slot.
Okay. What are you thinking is going to be there?
A paintbrush.
Okay. So you reach towards the largest slot, pull nothing, and in your hand is a paintbrush.
Guys, we can paint.
But
This is the coolest thing. Can I try it?
You slot it back, and it disappears.
Yeah,
I mean,
go ahead.
Fink's got more tools than.
That was lucky.
A pick?
A pick?
A lock pick?
Okay, so you kind of hover your hand over. There's various different sizes of picks depending on the kind of locks and various tools with it. And you go to a double-slotted little sleeve and pull at nothing, and out is a set of lockpicks.
This is so cool. I'm gonna put it
You
back.
kind of look through and you see there's probably about 15 or 16 different little slots in this case.
I have to
That's
ask.
a lot of screwdrivers.
Sure, you kind of you fish around, and oddly enough, you pull at nothing. You go to the area that you think a screwdriver should be held within a kit, or the specific kit that it would require, and there's a screwdriver in your hand.
Do we feel weird when the item disappears?
No, I mean you feel the weight disappear out of your hand, and that's about it. And it kind of
Okay.
just materializes into your hand as well.
Ooh, me next! Me next!
Here you go.
And he'll reach over and he'll think, back scratcher, and pull.
All right, you again go to the large one that Petunia had grabbed a paintbrush from, and it feels kind of right. And again, your hand slips around nothing, pulls out a back scratcher. Shockingly enough,
He'll take it and he'll scratch a part on his shell, and he'll be like, oh, that spot has bugged me for 4 years. And then he'll put it back into
plot
the
it
case.
back, and it vanishes.
Oh, thank you. That was wonderful.
And you kind of, each of you kind of like runs your fingers through it because this is the weirdest thing ever, right? So you run your finger across all of these slots, there's nothing there.
That's really cool.
Neat.
That
I
is
think-
really cool.
So, since
I
you've kind of
think
more or
has the
less
most-
discovered what this does, whoever wishes it now possesses the tool of need.
I see a big smile on Think's face.
I
Uh-huh.
think there's somebody who greatly enjoys a toolkit.
I think someone who needs a toolkit. Like their whole
I mean,
class
I
is designed for it. For this magical item.
Yes,
This is pretty cool, guys.
it's pretty cool.
This is the happiest I've heard Think through that mask.
Mhm.
I
hear
want
joy
to
through
see the
monotone.
grinning face, but I feel like you won't show us.
I don't have that item
wanna-
made in D&D Beyond yet, just in case people were looking through things. But I can put it, create the item and grant it to your character.
I'm gonna create a toothpick.
Create a toothpick? Sure.
Yeah.
You kind of look around, and as you're kind of thinking, like, wow, I got a piece like really stuck back there, you see a new little flap appear, and you pull out a toothpick.
Awesome. I'm
Whoa.
gonna drop it on the ground.
As soon as it leaves your hand, it vanishes.
Okay.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Think of any tool, and let's see if we can pass it.
I'm gonna do like a jeweler's eye piece.
Sure.
Oh, we have a gem to look at too,
and
don't we?
Again, it's the same kind of thing. You see a new flap or like a new loop kind of appear large enough for a jeweler's eye, and you are able to pull one out.
I'm gonna hand it to Iniara.
All right.
Can I take it?
So you've got the case in your hand. You pass the eye over to her, and as soon as you let go, it vanishes.
Oh, okay, okay.
I hold the case.
All right, I'll hold the case.
Well, then you could reach for it. Or you could hold
Well,
it
I
on
wonder
it.
if we're both holding the case, and we can then pass.
Yeah, you pull out the jeweler's eye, hand it over, and it stays materialized.
All right,
So it seems the person that is in contact with or holding on their person this kit is in possession of the item. So if she lets go, it disappears.
Cool, this is awesome.
This could be
That's a pretty cool item. I like that. I feel
Really
okay
cool item.
after it happens. He's so- he knows what I'm talking about.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that was painful in your campaign.
As was everything.
All right. Short rest had. New items discovered.
Ooh,
What would you guys like to do now?
do we go up the slope?
I mean, we might as well. We've gone this far.
Is this true? You never know. There could be more really cool items at this point. Or this was all. Although I will say these were Sakuagins. As I continue to like
that's
prestigitate if anything starts getting too bad.
Can I go see if there's any tattoos under the scales like the other one showed me?
Sure. Of course.
Ooh,
So you kind of go, and I mean, it's not
it's gross.
a pleasant experience in the slightest.
Ugh.
But you kind of sort of try to emulate that motion that Hegir had performed for you, and kind of slide back some scales. Oddly enough, yes, you do find those scratches in that say Sekola.
Well, Petunia, I'm used to the dead and whatnot, and I still kind of find that gross.
You're gonna find this really gross then? Can I cut that bit of tattoo off of this?
I'll say you find one of the fresher ones, which
Okay.
isn't saying much. But
Hey,
yeah,
I got a
you're able
tool
to
for
kind
that.
Ooh,
I hand her a
help?
fillet
Yeah,
knife.
that would. Oh, thanks.
yeah,
That's
there you
big.
go. You've got a tool for it, and you're able to kind of
First
Make
use of
quick
the
work.
toolkit. It's to fillet off some skin off a
Oh,
corpse.
who would have ever thought?
I'm writing this down. It's gonna
So
be on
yeah,
our
you are
records.
able to kind of use the fillet knife and,
Yep.
and cut off a chunk of rotten Sahuagin flesh that says in the scratched writing Sekola.
Awesome.
That was a bit extreme. Couldn't you have just sketched it? I mean,
I think we
why
could have
do you
gotten a
have flesh to
paintbrush.
take with you? It smells horrible, and that's coming from me.
I'll clean it when we leave. Well, I can clean it a little bit now. Wait, no, I don't need to. Hey, Iniara, would you help me clean this a little bit?
I can just. I will prestidigitate to the best of my ability.
It's still gross.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you are able to easily prestidigitate and clean off this really fresh-looking stuff.
Cool. I will have to work on this later, but I think this will be useful.
Could be.
Well, I hope you find a use for it.
Neat.
I think I will. I've got enough, hopefully, skills to make this work later on.
If not, we've got a
Your
toolkit.
Marin is just too embedded in you.
It's important.
Well, shall we carry on?
I think we'd be good to do that, yes.
All right, you continue up the slope then?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Easy enough as you guys exit the spider's alcove, new magical item until you hang a left and begin the ascent. And much like the first time around, it is kind of that same steady rise all the way up, and it is the whistling wind through this tunnel gets a bit louder as you continue, and as you continue eventually hear the soft lap of water against a shoreline, it seems. And I will trade over the map of where you guys are.
No.
Find myself.
Black.
Map change.
All right, so
dun, dun, dun.
bottom right of the screen, you should find your characters again. Hopefully.
Oh, I found me. Okay,
Do
good.
you have light, Petunia?
I have a little bit of light. I
Perfect.
can see straight forward.
Perfect. That's exactly what you need to do.
Beautiful. I can't see
All right, I
very
kind of
far.
put everyone in a
About
random
4
order as we
squares.
did this, so feel free to arrange yourself as you see fit on who would like to take point. But this is what you see. Another, as I said, about 15 minutes of traveling in an upward direction. You eventually come to an area that seems like chiseled stone, or at least more worked stone than the natural tunnel you had just come through.
Does it
And then
smell?
I'm
You said
sorry?
we could hear the water sounds?
you could.
Does it smell like it did outside when we were on the water?
It does.
Does it smell like that this whole time, though?
It becomes much stronger as you get closer to the end of this hallway.
Okay.
And I forgot to put this on the map, but there is a very rickety-looking wooden door that's got several slats missing, and you pretty much can just see straight through it anyway, but there is a clear divider, if you will, barely hanging on, but there is a wooden door to this section.
Was it dead fish smell that it was, or what was that smell again? I just remember there was a smell.
Yes, it smells of rotten fish.
Rotten fish, okay.
Out of character, not a terrible smell.
Yeah, not terrible. I mean,
It smells like shoreline sometimes. It smell bad.
It means good things.
Sure. It could. It could definitely mean good things. You guys are able to just open the door. There's nothing seemingly wrong with it. No fireball goes off as you do it or anything of that nature. It is just a simple divider between what seems to be the previous section of things and this new section.
I mean,
you move forward?
Walking forward.
Yeah, I guess
All
we'll
right.
keep kind of...
Okay.
Who's taking...
We're feeling
Taking
pretty good
lead.
about things right now.
Yeah, so as you kind of move forward, you see the area kind of open up quite a bit. You come to a very oddly shaped hall intersection, kind of triangular in nature, kind of not. To the left, you see that water seems to meet with the floor and goes over. The ceiling itself kind of dives underneath of it on the left side here. On the right side above you, you can hear the sounds of a couple Sahuagin fighting over something. And I don't actually have them on the map. Wow, I am really, really falling behind here, guys. I apologize. I'm an awful, awful DM when it comes to prep.
Oh, now you gotta roll it.
Hey, there we go.
For the rest of the night.
So, you find three Sahuagins kind of fighting over the scraps of some animal of some nature. You're not certain what it
Petunia's
is.
not
and
in
it
her
doesn't look
form
like
anymore. We took that
much,
rest.
anymore.
I would like to cast Disguise Self and become the Sekula.
You become
Yeah.
Sekula. All right.
I become Sekula again, and this time with that tattoo. I want to also. I don't want to have the exact tattoo because I'm not worshiping myself.
Yourself,
But
sure.
Yeah, I kind of want to embody tattoos that would inspire those kind of tattoos.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay,
like, whether it's
okay.
like runic or...
So since you have the ability to read and interpret any language, you kind of roll me an intelligence check as you kind of think through this just a little bit on how you're going to manipulate this text.
Wait, if she asks for help, I can help.
I did
how
not
I'd help,
ask for
but-
help, but I rolled a 6.
Still a 6. Don't
Total.
forget you have inspiration.
And
Oh, that's
I
right.
have inspiration, but I'm going to use lucky for sure.
There you
Ooh,
go.
that's right.
Because I have that first. I'm
Mhm.
going to do
And-
that.
Did the ceiling stay higher up,
Yeah.
or
I'm going to
did
use
it
my...
come down again?
So the ceiling itself in this area, to accommodate the Sahuagin nicely, is about an 8-foot ceiling,
Okay, thank you.
which for Petunia it's getting a little cramped, but I mean, like you said, you're not
I'm
a
only
tall
6'6".
fearball by any means.
Yeah. Okay. So I ended up rolling a 7, so I'm going to use that inspiration and be that first
All right.
one. Going to attempt it. Oh, so that is another 6. So
Another 6, so
13.
13 total. That's really good.
that's better.
Keep in mind
than-
the DCs on like straight ability checks are much lower than skilled checks. So yeah, you take a moment, you kind of think of what Sekula means in the Aquan tongue, kind of more or less, or the Sahuagin tongue, and you kind of scrawl and scratch as best as you can, or like transform your body into. And you change it to "She who rides with the waves," which
Ooh.
looks very similar to what Sekula could be in terms of runic script. You see the three Sahuagin kind of stop fighting, look over, and immediately drop the scraps of said furred animal. You see them all kind of do that same move that Hagyr had done, kind of pull aside their scaling, and you see Sekula scratched in as they then all bow in your presence.
Oh gosh, so they are up the hallway.
I think they knew we were here.
I tell them to leave, and I point to the water, and I do it as menacingly as I can. Leave.
Okay. And with that, they all kind of scurry on the ground towards the water, dive in, and are gone. Without question, they do it.
Please.
Shall we move forward?
So in this room, that's about everything that was there. It looks like these three had one of them had found and or caught an animal on the shoreline, brought it back, and two of the others had found out that this one is trying to hide its meal. There's basically nothing else in this room. It is a very small little alcove that seems to hold no other purpose.
Makes me wonder what's up above in the water.
So again, coming over to that hallway, you see that the ceiling itself dips down into the water, or maybe the water comes up to the ceiling. But anywho, you notice that the hallway itself is submerged or would continue underneath. The water is murky, but it doesn't look slimy.
It looks
So
safer.
it does not seem to share the lake water. There seems to be a different source for it.
Wasn't the lake clear underneath anyways?
Correct. After about 5 or so feet, maybe a little bit more of the lake water, the slime kind of sat on the top and was thick, but once you got under, it was perfectly clear. This water is murky.
Oh, that's okay, yeah. Oh, Iso, you're the swimming one.
I am. Do you need me to go first?
Well, how far? I don't know how long I could hold my breath, and
Well, I can
feel like
swim
there's
to the other side.
obviously more than just this one room. And they know you're with the great Sekula, so hopefully they won't do anything.
One can certainly hope.
Right. Well, if he goes, either way, I want to, check out this room and see if there's any, hidden doorways.
Sure.
If he goes out.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
13.
13? Okay. Iso, you dip into the water?
Yeah, I'll stick my head under the water.
All right. You stick your head into the water, and it continues that same murky feel. Your vision is very limited. One, because you don't have dark vision, and two, it's just that dirty of water. But you do feel like it would take a bit of navigation, but shouldn't be too much issue. Doesn't look like there's too much that should snag you.
And I'll poke my head up out of the water and relay that. Seems relatively straightforward. Shouldn't be anything to catch us unaware.
How far out is the next area?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Unless you said that. Sorry, I had child Agro saying goodnight time.
No, you're good.
Oh yeah, you're good.
No, you're not able to estimate the distance of it. Your vision kind of cuts off after maybe 7 or 8 feet. of looking through this water, and it continues past that point for sure.
Well, I mean, I know it's never. I can go and take a look if you need me to. How about this? And he'll untie part of his rope and hand it to them. If you feel 2 sharp tugs, it's you're just fine to come after me. If you feel nothing and keep feeling nothing, I am not okay.
Okay.
Oh,
What if you do 3
that's a
sharp
safe
tugs? What does
system.
that mean?
Get me the hell out of there!
If the tugs keep continuing, I think. Continuing and then stop, that's when we have a real problem.
All right.
So I will go ahead and throw some rope over to them that I untie off of my metal ring and jump in the water.
All right, you jump in the water, and you begin kind of navigating by feel as you get in there a bit, kind of searching around. It is a bit of a cramped tunnel underneath this water. Why don't you roll me an athletics check as you try to traverse it without getting stuck?
Athletics.
Mm-hmm. Should be decent at that.
Oh yeah, 18.
18? Oh yeah, no, you have no issues as you kind of duck and weave through this tighter hallway, coming out. And here I will go ahead and move you to the other side. After about 30 feet or so, you come out the other side, kind of hitting the slope and moving up with the hallway itself, and finding yourself over there.
I will move myself at least to this corner and stop and listen. Do I hear anything?
Roll me a perception check.
Perception. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my inspiration onto this.
Okay.
Oh, okay. 12 total.
12 total? Okay. You stop, take a moment, and listen. You hear the gentle slap again of water. You kind of open your eyes and you see the wet footprints leading off to the right towards the top of that area of the Sahuagin that Petunia had just told to leave. So they headed up over that way. Otherwise, other than like the soft slap of webbed feet way off in the distance to the right, you don't hear anything.
Okay. I will give 2 sharp tugs on the rope.
Okay. Back over to Iniara, you begin examining this room, kind of searching through the various bits of stonework, and you don't come up with anything.
Okay.
Either it is better hidden, or there isn't one.
Alright. I didn't find any other room than this, but that's what I got. Any news on ESO?
I
Frantic
got
tugs?
2 tugs, it's safe.
Oh, should we go?
Yeah, I mean, I can't hold my breath for that long, but I mean...
Wait, quick? We could use the rope to try and guide us?
I'll stay here and... You
I
guys
think
can
like
go.
a rock, guys.
You stay here and we go?
2 sharp tugs.
Oh, okay. Okay, I two sharp tugs back.
What about the people we left here?
That's true. We could always come back.
Yeah, I just continually pull the rope. As soon as I say we could just come back, I just start pulling it.
Man, I'm
So
curious.
what do you do? Feeling tugs back the other direction? Or do you pull towards Iso? Like, are you following the rope, or are you trying to get him to come back?
Trying to get him to come back. I like pull like we're in danger because I said if you repeatedly pull.
Okay, I guess I will dive into the water, swim my way back, pop out of the other side, and just land and like have my shield ready and my warhammer raised, and I'm just breathing hard. Where are they? Where are they?
Oh,
Is
they
everyone
left.
okay?
We
We
already
forgot
ambushed
about the
them.
other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What?
we need to go back.
Well, it's not that far. It's only about 30 feet.
How far down?
But
Pink
what's
can't
30
swim.
feet?
To the other side.
Of what?
The
Yeah, what's on the
water.
other side?
Yeah, well, did you see anything in the water?
No, it's rather murky. Didn't
Oh,
see too
well.
much. You can't see very much past yourself, but I made it to the other side just fine. That's
So,
why I gave 2 sharp tugs.
well, I don't know how well Pink is going to be able to swim with all of that armor. How
Just
strong
take it
are
off
you, Eso? Can you carry Pink?
I could certainly try. I mean, you can still walk.
Wait, you can walk it?
Well, it's only 30 feet.
How far
30
down
feet,
was the
you're
bottom?
maybe about 10 feet under, at worst.
Oh, so we don't have to necessarily swim. We could just kind of slowly trudge through a floor?
Okay, well, I mean, if
More or
that's
less.
really what it is, that's less.
Oh, so that's not so bad. So we
No.
didn't
And you
know
feel
what was
comfortable
on the
holding
way
your
to
breath
the
for-
other side.
1 plus Constitution modifier minutes, give or take.
Oh, okay.
So I can hold my
I can
breath
take plenty of time
for
to get across, I think.
2 minutes.
Same.
Assuming you're not doing anything too stressful. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. We've got this.
I vote we all hang on to this rope.
Yep.
And
Where are we
go.
tying it?
Eso.
Yeah, I'll be the anchor on the back.
So one on Eso and one on Pink, and me are hanging on in the center of the rope.
I mean, I can guide us. Yes, that's fine.
And I'd say with your 18, you still feel very comfortable navigating back through yet again. Probably especially more so now that this is your 3rd trip.
Yep.
I'm just
I agree.
imagining you got a turtle, a rope, a stone statue, basically, a fear ball. Oh, actually, it's a Sahuagin. A Sahuagin technically hanging on,
Technically a Sahuagin.
and then a drow
feels
with
a lot like
wickedly
Petunia,
long
but it's
hair just
Sahuagin.
flowing behind her, probably in Think's face.
Yep.
Another Sunday night.
Right?
Let me- I should probably
so as you
braid this
guys-
quick so it's not going to be in your face, Think.
I'd appreciate it.
And I'm going
As
to
you
try
begin
and
moving.
do something with
through
my
the water.
hair. Huh?
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you take a couple minutes. You guys tie up your hair. No issue before jumping in and getting it wet immediately. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Well, no, it was just so that it wasn't flowing all over the place and getting in the way.
Sure.
Because her hair
Getting
is
snagged on
really
things.
long.
Very long. Some would say. Very
I think
long.
the art shows it like basically knee length or longer.
Yeah, give or take.
Can you use your umbrella to make it be like a impromptu shower cap?
I can close the umbrella or I can open it. I don't. Maybe I misunderstood.
No. You're fine.
Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
the answer is no.
Okay, thank you.
Which, yes, I will. I'll close my umbrella and have it like go into the pack like it's like at night and whatnot. And
Sure.
it's probably been
Easily done.
closed and in the pack now that I think about it throughout all of this because we're underground.
Because you're underground. Right. That makes
Most
sense.
likely.
It's only out
Yeah.
during it's sunny and where the sun hurts my eyes.
Right. So with that, Eso leading the way, I will give everyone behind him advantage on your athletics check since you
Yay.
have a hold of the rope. if you would all like to go ahead and make that, except for Iso, because
Oh.
he's leading the charge.
Thank goodness, I got an 18.
18.
Oh,
Yeah, more than
oh,
enough. You
oh.
feel very comfortable getting through the tighter spaces and are able to avoid getting hooked on anything.
Good.
So, you said advantage, right?
Advantage.
I rolled a 1 and a 20. So
Okay,
that's
we'll
a
take the one
total of
then.
19.
Not that. Cool.
I needed that advantage.
Yeah, you feel very comfortable navigating through that. And then we come to the anchor at the end of the rope.
It's not good, guys.
Oh no.
It's a 3.
It's a 3.
An
With
advantage?
No, because I have disadvantage because of the armor.
Oh, so it's an
yeah. Well,
Roll.
no, not on. That'd be dexterity checks. This is a strength check. You'll be fine. So you'd still have advantage on it.
Okay, then 5.
Yeah, D&D Beyond is lying right now on what it says for you, due to your artificer type. It is currently lying until you level up.
It's a 5.
It's a 5? That is also not good. All right, so 3 out of the
Overall,
4 of
we're
you
successful. That counts, right?
make it through, no problem. Iso, Petunia, and Eniara, you kind of are at the edge there, waiting, and you kind of like pull on the rope a bit, and it is stuck. Fink, you don't know what's going on. You can see a little bit around you. You feel like your armor has gotten caught on something under the water, and you panic. As you know you've got limited air here, and you got to figure out what's going on quick.
Pull the rope vertically.
All right, sharp tugs on the end of the rope. What do you guys do?
Turn around.
He's gone.
Abort mission! Abort mission!
Are the rest of us out of the water other than Fink?
The rest of you are
Okay.
out. You made it through, no problem.
I'll dive back down.
Okay.
Oh?
You dive back down, rope kind of trailing behind you with it. Iniara and Petunia still kind of holding on to a length of it as you double back. You see Fink kind of struggling as you notice one of her boots, his boots, are caught in a bit of rubble under the water.
I will swim down that way and try and yank the boot free.
Okay. I'll say it's a straight roll because I'm going to guess Fink is flailing a bit.
So, strength check?
Strength check, please.
Oh no, it's like he's terrible
As
at
you
that
plant
stat.
both feet and begin to tug, Fink flailing around, pleading for help as best as possible as he can with a stone suit of armor on underneath water. So you just see bubbles kind of start shooting out from underneath the mast. And you kind of pull and you see that the rubble loosens a bit, but Fink is not coming free right now. Fink, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Okay. 17.
17? Okay. You are able to not release all of your breath in your panic at the moment. So you are currently not drowning. You're close, but not right now.
Hold on.
Oh.
I would say with that too, with the 17, you're able to kind of collect yourself just enough. What would you like to do in your moment of clarity?
Try and pull myself free, I guess.
Okay. I'll give you an athletics or acrobatics check to try to stick your foot.
I will take athletics. Damn it. A 1.
A 1? Oh no. Yeah, so with that, the moment of panic kind of hits you. You see your boot, you're like, oh, we've got this. I can do this real quick. You turn your foot and it sinks farther into the rubble. And you feel your breath leave you.
All of it?
All of it.
Basically just screamed underwater, all of it?
Basically.
Yeah.
Eso, you think time is really ticking here.
I will knock on the side.
Approximately halfway through the water at this point too, so you've got to unwedge him and drag him another 15 feet yet.
So it doesn't matter which direction they go.
Correct. They're about the halfway point.
I will knock on the side of Fink's head just to like get him to focus on me, and I'll hold up 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger, and both of us try and go up. And I'm gonna use the help action to give Fink advantage to pull free.
Okay. Fink, you see 3, 2, things start going dark.
Oh no, shit.
1, you've got... Alright, I'll give it to you. He's able to do it just in time. You see things kind of slowly going down, and you instinctively, like, panic, fear, primal instinct grabs, and you grasp onto whatever you can of Eso, and with your remaining effort, you pull. You have advantage on your next athletics check here to pull free. And then things go dark either way.
Okay. Oh, shit. 5?
And that's with advantage?
Yeah, I rolled 2 5s.
Oh my god.
Can I give up my inspiration and give it to her?
Oh my god.
Roll a persuasion check, Iniara.
Okay, my curse is not that bad.
I mean, I suppose I could use my inspiration too. Is it a D6? Or does he
It's a
decide
D6,
something
yep.
else?
It would have been a
Maybe above
16.
10. Hey, I rolled a 6 though.
Hey! Okay.
It's 11.
All right. With an 11. All right. In that moment, that's just enough. As your boot slips free, and Eso, you feel the grip slacken. But Fink is free.
I will immediately just start swimming with him towards the other side. How heavy is Fink right now?
Fink is wearing solid stone armor.
Still
So
20 pounds?
And can we
100,
pull on
150,
the other end of the rope?
180? Somewhere in that, probably.
Um,
Maybe a bit more. Oh, you can definitely, if you guys want to start pulling as you feel the rope slacken a bit, why don't you two both roll athletics checks as you begin to haul on the rope as best you can to assist Eso as well.
Okay. Rolled
I'm
well.
with Fink. I rolled a 5.
15.
15. It seems like Petunia, like the rope is just slipping through your hands, and you look over and you see why, because here's Iniara just ripping on that sucker, making good progress. And before long, you see here as Fink's unconscious body slides up with Eso tugging along onto the side of the room here, as everyone now has made it across. Fink is not moving.
Don't they have healing?
I have Cure Wounds. I immediately use Cure Wounds as soon as they pop out of the water and I see that Fink is not moving.
Okay.
and the armor does not look removable, right? Or it is removable, right?
You know it's possible.
Fink, I'm sorry, I'm sure you don't
no
want this,
idea
but
how Fink does this.
I'm gonna rush up and
based on
take the
how
helmet
all of
off.
Plating interlocks that it doesn't look like it is easy to remove. It is almost like one solid piece with the way that Fink has constructed this armor. It is very tight interlocking stone chunks. So Iniara, if you're going to attempt to remove the helmet, I need an intelligence check.
Yep, I can do that.
Petunia, as she's kind of wrestling with the helmet a bit, you take a moment. You look towards a small golden clover leaf in your mind, and draw inspiration from that quick, and you stretch your hands forward, place them on the chest, like the armor plate, stone plating of Fink's body, and you feel green energy just flow into Fink.
16, by the way.
16. It takes you a moment, you fiddle around a bit, you do find an unlock mechanism and are able to swing open the face plating on this, and at that very instant you see a rush of water come pouring out of the dusky gray skin of the gnome underneath. Fink, you are back. You are conscious.
And you have 8 points of healing. No, 10 points of healing. Sorry.
Did I just roll over and start retching?
You do. And oddly enough, it seems like when the water should have stopped, it doesn't. There is just a ludicrous amount of water pouring out of Fink's body. But before long, thankfully, it stops. You feel very thirsty, very dehydrated, very ill as you close your face mask up yet again.
You know, Fink, as cool as that armor is, we really need to talk about an upgrade. That is heavy as hell.
I'm working on it.
Also, might I suggest, with that new little tinker satchel thing you have, make a quick eject button for future instances. Your Enya was
Self-destruct button,
fumbling
you
around
say.
before she found the switch.
Because it's supposed to be done from the inside.
Sorry, but, like, I knew we needed to take it off. Help you.
Okay, this seems weird, but my mind immediately goes to Fink, like, searching around with the tongue to find a little click to make the mask open.
That's not what
I
it
don't
is.
know why, but that's where my mind immediately went. When you said it had to be open from the inside, like, oh, it's got to be that.
It's not a button over by the hands or anything. It's...
Nope,
Oh,
nope,
no.
nothing. Nah, too easy. Who would construct it that way?
Nobody. That would be ludicrous.
Well, I guess since we're on this side, we're not going back now.
At least not for a little while.
Fink,
Not anytime
when we go
soon,
across
please.
again, take that damn armor off.
Mm-hmm. I vote yes.
We won't
Think
look.
Think about it.
You'll go... We won't look. I don't even remember what anything looks like.
Yeah, you
We're
got a
ladies,
very,
come
very
on.
brief glance before Fink had rolled over to start retching.
No, it's fine, but I was merely saying it that way as in, like, we didn't see anything.
Mm-mm.
You look so handsome when you're unconscious.
Ooh.
Ugh, that's a
I
good.
think
That's a
we
good
might be with
opener.
wrong crowd.
Well, by the way, now that we're on this side and I'm kind of looking around, are those footprints still there, or have they evaporated by now?
No, they're still there. It seems that this cave is damp enough that the moisture and the water droplets from those footprints are still more or less cohesive. So you still see the wet marks of the Sahuagin that have fled.
Well, Petunia, the ones that you sent across to this side decided to take a right turn.
I vote we follow them. Perhaps.
All right.
I'm gonna hang out in the back for a little while. I'll follow you guys.
Understandable.
Catch your breath.
Yeah, I'll have Issa go first, please.
You had the great god. She's a goddess, technically.
Goddess. Yep.
Needs to have
Now,
She's an imposter.
A person in the front, and then an entourage behind, and Petunia, just lift your chin up just a little bit more, just a little more regal.
I'm putting up with
And
it,
I
but
like
really don't
move
like
her
it.
to look as regal AF as possible.
Regal AF, I think, is the technical term.
Yep. Technical
It
term.
is, especially with all the plants she has hanging off of her, those clovers everywhere.
Right?
Regal.
To be fair, we don't see them. We just see the Sahuagin.
I mean, there is that.
Just gonna.
All right. So, in front of and behind you, you see a hallway that kind of branches up off to the right. Behind you seems to be another wider bit of a hallway, and then a large below you. So, at the south, large room, north, hallway. And those with good dark vision have a bit of idea of what may or may not be within those rooms. To the south, because you guys can all just kind of see into it anyway, you see a bunch of broken crates, broken furniture.
To the south?
And to the south, yep.
Down here?
Yep, down there.
I went north. I wanted to follow the footprints.
You see what could be various sleeping spots within that larger diamond-shaped room. To the north, you see the hallway branch off to the right, and then you see another T intersection. And you have a feeling, based on what you've seen in the past, this is an H hallway yet again.
Okay.
The Sahuagin footprints take the first left and then the first right. So they kind of go up this way towards the north again. So they
Just
take
go
the
right.
T and then go north from there. Apologies, the diagonals do not make it easy to find a good spot to sit on the map.
Yeah, but
No
this
worries.
will work.
So again, there's 4 different directions to go, back the direction you came, and then 3 new directions. Left, right, and up.
I went up for those.
You went to the right.
Oh, yes, correct. I went right, and then I'll be going up because
Okay.
it goes up.
Yes, but to clarify, the footprints went to the top part of the H and then up.
Yes, correct. I
Okay,
did not
okay.
follow the footprints, and I knew that. I went
Gotcha,
away from
okay.
the footprints.
Just making sure that we're on the same
Yes.
page. Okay, so you move over that way. You see the hallway kind of twist and then turn out of sight yet again. Seems very quiet in that direction so far.
I take a step forward.
Okay,
Oh,
still seems
boy.
quiet. Kind of long hallway up to the right. Coming that direction,
there.
you see the start of what appears to be a rather large room as well. There is a smell of rotten animals and just decay coming from this area.
I'm sensing a theme.
I think they like their food rotten.
I am going to vote I walk in first, and I try to walk in as regally as Iniara has told me. I stand up.
Gotcha. Yeah, easily. You
Like
you kind
pretend
of
you're balancing
point
a
your nose
book.
to the sky and
Yeah.
looking down on everyone as you walk through the doorway.
There's a string.
Like there's a string and you're trying to balance a book on your head. We went through
Right.
this back there, but
Mm-hmm. Yep.
she
Oh,
gave
definitely.
you a major crash course for sure.
You walk through the doorway, and the room kind of spreads out from there. You see the remains of a lot of different animals, various bits of bone from some fish, and the rotten smell seems to be coming from the remains of whatever animals they did not finish. You would kind of more or less recognize this as the mess hall for the Sahuagin. Along the wall, though, you do notice various bits of broken glass and like little remnants of some liquids that were on them. Otherwise, there is no formal table. There's nothing of that nature. It is just kind of a bit of an open floor, and around the outside is where all of the refuse is thrown.
Gotcha.
Well, congratulations. The corpses know you're their goddess.
I immediately start rummaging through any corpse after that he says that to see if I can find anything of value. Be like, worth it.
All right, roll me an investigation check as you rummage through these piles.
Ooh, hopefully that's good. 19.
19. Okay, sure. You kind of rummage through for a little bit. You find nothing in the first pile. Move on to the second one. Your hands are getting all over them. And it's about the
Prestidigitation.
fourth pile in that you pull out a perfectly shaped wishbone.
Yes. Oh, this is awesome. I clean it off ever so carefully. And I hook it onto my belt so it's dangling.
All right, there you go. You've got a fishbone, or a wishbone, not a fishbone, a wishbone.
Again, this is Naren all over again.
No, lies. This is not my Bardomancer. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, back then.
Lead the way and we shall follow.
All right. Otherwise, nothing else seems to be of use with any of these piles. It is just trash.
Thing's just gonna throw up in the corner over here real quick.
I'll prestidigitate it away as soon as Pink's
Ooh.
done.
You wouldn't have liked my bard. My bard was worse.
Ugh.
Can I have perception to see if the faceplate swings open?
Sure.
You got a filtration
does it?
system in there? Let's see here.
Or does it just kind of like drip through the grating?
11.
There's a quick release hatch on the inside.
It is,
Things you didn't
triggered by the diaphragm, so as soon as that retch begins, the faceplate just kind of swings open naturally. It's a really good design, so...
The things you didn't think you'd have to figure out tonight.
Or ever discuss.
Ooh, you wait.
Alright. That's that room. There's now nothing after Iniara has prestidigitated away all of the ick from Fink.
Okay.
Got to keep some dignity. Make sure
Got
it's
that
still
new
all
armor
intact.
smell to it now too. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I put a nice little what I think is a nice smell from my area. Little freshener. It smells rich.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Fink, this seems relatively familiar. It's just a little bit less burnt than you're used to it than you're used to it smelling, but it doesn't seem far off of what you know. A nice, deep, damp, earthy smell. All right, coming up to the left and the up portion of that hallway, Petunia. You see it kind of trail off to the left and then hook around a bend, and the footprints of the Sahuagin go off to your right.
How long has it been since I cast? Because we cast it right before I told them to leave.
Mm-hmm. Maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
It has not been real long, because most of the Fink drowning and coming back to life was maybe 20 seconds.
Perfect. Beautiful. That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
It was
no,
a
you
very
still have
quick
good,
flash
long use of
before
your
the
hour.
eyes.
Well, I mean, a lot of action can happen very, very quickly.
That is true, yeah.
It can.
Time just seemed to slow down for Fink.
Right. Like 18 seconds of battle can sometimes take 3 to 4 hours, and 3 to 4 hours can sometimes take about 18 seconds.
That's
That's D&D.
exactly how it is. So I'm gonna whisper that I think we should head up following the footprints.
Wait.
Okay,
Lead.
I'm gonna
Alright.
go this way.
So you go up. The sound of water lapping at a shoreline seems to intensify, and the scent of dead fish picks up yet again as you begin to move. Natural light begins filling in at the far end of the tunnel. Come on. And bright daylight begins to filter in. You find the edge of the cave, and out before you on a very shallow shoreline, you see the lake yet again, stretching out for a mile or two in front of you.
Cool! Fall back! Fall back!
Wait,
You would
what's
say
up
you're
there?
probably on the north end, towards the north end of this lake.
Oh, I gotta move. Shift.
I think we should go this way. I think they left into the water, and I think everything's good. I think we should see what's in this corner and head back and go pay a friendly visit to our red friend.
Yes. But check.
Sure.
We're checking the rest of this place out first. Give Fink
Yeah.
a little bit more time.
You know, I'm just saying this. If we're supposed to clear this place out, do you really want to start referring to that one as your friend?
Oh, I thought there
What
was
if you
friend with quotations.
Don't name it.
His
moment
name is
you give
already
it a name.
George.
Oh, I totally thought that we were meaning friend, as I will, do the air quotations.
Oh.
So his name is
Gotcha.
Steve.
George.
Again, you named him. Stop
George,
naming
sorry,
him.
George.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, he didn't give me a gift when I walked through, so I suppose he wasn't my friend.
All right, let's check out the rest.
Okay. You head off to the left side. You hear a couple of creatures discussing an Aquan. And for those of you who don't understand Aquan,
Eso.
Mr. Turtle, you hear them discussing that there was rumors that Sekula was nearby, and maybe the goddess would grace them with her presence. But hopefully Greasy Gretchen will never see her.
Wait.
Ooh,
Petunia,
Greasy
stop.
Gretchen. That sounds important.
Petunia, they're talking about you up there.
Me?
You're muted. They mentioned
no.
that they mentioned they heard that you're wandering around here, and also someone named Greasy Gretchen. Greasy Gretchen. Sorry, the dialect's a bit off.
Ooh, I like that name.
And they said hopefully Greasy Gretchen won't find out.
Correct.
And they said that this person, hopefully they don't find out that you're here. Not you, Petunia. You,
Sakura,
Second.
and I totally
Sakura.
agree.
That one.
Let's have them not find out I'm here.
You call this down the hallway?
Oh,
Or was that just
yell
an
it at
aside
us?
to ESO? No, they're just discussing in screeches down the hallway. So the three Sahuagins are talking amongst themselves, and this is what ESO has eavesdropped on. And I'm wondering if you shout
Did he-
down the hall, hopefully they won't find out.
No, if he
Okay.
didn't tell me what it was, then I wouldn't have shouted back. If he would have already shouted, then it would have been...
Not yet, he hasn't.
No, I didn't
Okay.
shout. I was just telling you that they were talking about you, and then they mentioned someone named Greasy Gretchen, and that they hope they don't find out that you, Sahuagin, you is here.
So you came back to tell me that.
I think he just
No,
overheard it
it's-
from a distance.
I
As you
overheard
guys
it.
were beginning to walk down this hallway, that's what he overheard.
They're talking in
okay.
Aquan, so very high pitches. Maybe your furbo gears don't hear those really high pitches.
Oh, well, maybe not. I also don't know that language. So, there's that. But, yeah, no, I don't yell it. I would
Okay.
whisper it back if that's what he said.
Oh,
to
that's
me.
fine. I'm just double checking here.
I thought he was down the hallway and he yelled it back to us.
Uh-oh, did we lose Fink?
That's what I was thinking.
We
That's what I just
might
saw,
have
yeah.
slightly lost Fink.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
We may have regained Fink. So as you kind of
randomly updated.
Oh, weird.
Weird. So as you kind of look down this hallway, Petunia, you do happen to see a Sahuagin kind of pass through towards the end of the room over there. I think you can sort of see that, maybe not.
I can.
It would if I. Oh, maybe not. If I get really close to my screen, yeah.
Would we have made it
Yeah.
slightly down
So
the
you
hallway
see
a little bit?
kind of
I
a
see a
fishy
smudge.
face, kind of in the far reaches of your vision. You see a large figure move past, roughly Sahuagin shaped and sized.
Uh-huh. Cool. I want to follow.
Okay. You move forward?
Yep.
So as you move forward, this room is a little bit smaller. You notice that a large part of it is submerged. So the room kind of just falls into the water itself. The three Sahuagin are kind of chatting, kind of slacking off, if you will. Just kind of relaxing by the water's edge here. And this water is crystal clear. Oddly enough.
As I move forward, do they notice me?
Yeah, as they kind of hear the scrape, as everyone kind of moves forward, you see the three of them kind of turn back towards the hallway. And their eyes just kind of really enlarge, like, oh shit, she's here. And immediately do the same thing. They kind of prostrate and bow before you. Sekula is here.
I ask where Greasy Gretchen is in Celestial.
You see one of them kind of point south, basically straight down from their position.
I just nod and I point for them to. I point towards the water. And I said, "Day," and I walk that way.
Wait. There is a hidden gift for Sekula in water. And you see two of them kind of scramble and dive in. And it takes a little bit if you're willing to wait, but eventually you see them dragging up through the water a rather large rusted chest that kind of like onto the shoreline itself. And this thing looks like it has been buried in this water for a very long time. The entirety of it is completely rusted over. There doesn't even appear to be much of a lock, and the hinges themselves seem almost welded shut. Kagir, notice this. It is for Sekula, and they kind of slide towards you.
I hold my hand out to it, and I concentrate on detect magic.
Okay.
Takes one action, and I hold my hand out to it, and the green light kind of emanates.
And nothing magical seems to shine from the chest. The chest itself or anything within it.
Okay. Then, we're gonna try this. I wave towards the three following me to pick it up.
I'm sorry, what now?
Your job. You gotta serve secular.
If I have to use a skill to convince someone, I definitely will. But I wave to all three of them, and I point to the box.
Oh, Iso just stands there with his hands crossed.
Knowing what she's trying to get at, I will go forward.
Okay.
Well, question is, do you want me to call it or open it for you?
Carry it.
Carry it? Yeah, okay. But Junia, you have more strength than Iniara.
Not by much.
3 points,
You know-
actually, I think.
I
You
think
know,
it is
I'm-
by 3.
I'm just saying maybe we should open it first so that we don't have like the trunk in Spaceballs scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
Okay.
lugging
That'd be
around
worth
the
it.
sand.
Just, I shall show you
look
what's
at me and
inside.
I nod. Open it up.
And then
You attempt to open it?
I attempt to open it.
Okay.
That's
You
the-
place your hands on the side of the box.
Yep.
It is rusted shut.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna look fearful because I did something quote unquote wrong because I couldn't open it up for the goddess.
Ooh.
I would say the Sahuagin were watching you intently as you move forward. And they all kind of whisper, "She is not worthy."
She has 8
Mm.
strength.
There is that. Oh boy.
It kind of appears, just as you guys look over this chest, just simply opening it isn't going to work. You might have to deal with the rusted over nature of it, or find a way to like cut into the chest to access it.
I might have a tool
So-
for that.
Oh.
We might.
I point to
Jackhammer.
Fink then. Point off into the distance as I'm pointing at something no one can see.
You open your little leather-bound case and pull out.
Something to chisel.
Okay.
Go within acetylene torch.
It's better than a crowbar. I just-
Oddly enough, that doesn't quite work. But yeah, a
Just
chisel.
Make it out of the pouch.
You pull out a almost serrated chisel as it just kind of slides free, and you think, oh, a hammer. Oh, you've already got a hammer, of course.
Yeah.
And you begin to work around it, and it almost seems like it's sawing through the rust as you kind of tap your way around. And maybe 5 minutes of work as you kind of cut through this rust. And you take a moment, you drop the chisel and pick up the lid. It's heavy, but you're able to kind of pick it up and just shift it off. And inside is a water-filled chest with a single bag.
I reach in and grab the bag.
All right. The water-soaked bag feels like it's just holding under the weight of whatever is inside of it, as water begins to just pour out of this cloth sack. You kind of open up inside of it. You notice the shine of gold.
I take it and I
He
turn
was worthy.
and I wave
He
the
was
other
worthy.
one.
Damn it.
I heard
I-
he,
wait.
but I just wasn't
I
listening.
didn't-
Oh, perfect. Yeah, no, I said he. Yeah, definitely said he. I would not have made that mistake for the third time tonight.
I'll make it too.
Okay.
I still have. But I wave everyone.
Do you take out and examine a coin?
No. I
Okay.
grab it and I hold it to me and I wave everyone forward and I walk forward like it's urgent.
Okay. You see the Sahuagin stay prostrate as you guys turn and exit the room. It seems like the ruse of being Sekala has continued to work.
We're trying. We were going left, right?
So when you get back to the H hallway, going right and down is the only area you have not explored yet.
Which way did they say Greasy Gretchen was?
Down.
Down, like the direction we didn't go yet.
Yeah,
Correct.
so the
Okay.
one direction. There's
over
only
that
so
way.
much light. I don't know where I'm going.
Here,
I was gonna
I'll
say that
drag you over, Iso.
Before we leave, I was gonna ask them, who exactly is Greasy Gretchen in Auckland?
Sounds slippery.
Greasy Gretchen is our boss.
Whatever she's paying, we can
She
double it.
has much power over water.
So she's a sorceress.
Of sorts.
What's her weaknesses?
Electricity and grass type. Okay. Weakness. I do not know of weakness.
And she's down under the water, you say?
Sort of. She lives in both.
When was the last time she checked in with you?
You see him pull back a scaly watch, sundial kind of thing. You see him kind of rotate it a bit in the darkness. Well, I mean, you've got your lantern out, but 4, 5 hours back. And you see him slide his scales back down his arm.
Okay, no reason to be rude about it. Alright, well...
Alright. Kagir will continue to relax in water, and you see him kind of like go from prostrate and kind of like roll back into the water nearby. And the other two kind of follow suit as you leave, so.
Enjoy your break.
All right, so coming to this large diamond-shaped room, you do see a hall off to the left that shoots at the bottom left as you're coming up to it, so I guess really to the east. And then there's a hall off to the west as well. Looks like you guys are going more or less west to the east. For those of you with dark vision, you see the small bits of the start of a room. That's what you got after a short hallway. To the left, you see that the hallway again kind of snakes. Bits and pieces of this start to look a little more natural again. Not seemingly worn away by the lake water itself, but seemingly formed by hand. There is a very strong odor, again, of like rotten seaweed and fish that begins to emanate from this area.
We've already found their mess hall. Hopefully this isn't their latrine.
Well, I mean, it might be.
Did you share the Gretchen talk with us, or?
Yes.
Oh, I move to right there, right before I see that it widens more than the hallway.
Correct. Yep, so the hallway itself kind of snakes around and then seems to hook back over to the right. Okay, I took a second to update. You see a room stretched before you. On either side, I'll just make sure I can see what you can see, Petunia, here first. So a short ways into this room, you start to see two statues of a humanoid form. There seems to be some writing scribbled beneath it. Taking a moment, you focus in on that writing. and it says Gretchen the Glorious.
Must be Gretchen's sister.
Or she
I
thinks
think she
highly
needs
of
to be
herself.
knocked down a peg.
What is
You
this?
feel something like almost exuding off of these statues. As you begin to kind of more or less take in the actual visage that is depicted, you see the face half covered in seaweed, a horribly disfigured nose, gills that extend straight from the cheeks down. I need everyone, actually, to make a wisdom saving throw as you take in the sight of this horrific face.
Wisdom?
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh. I didn't roll too hot.
17.
17?
Any chance
Alright.
this is a magic thing?
Sure.
Yeah!
I call it magical.
What do I have resistance to?
So you'd have advantage, Fink.
Yep. Alright, I got an 11.
An 11? Okay.
What am I making? A wisdom save?
Wisdom saving throw.
I got an 8.
You got an 8?
An 8.
And Iso.
10.
10. Alright. You
Didn't do very
see
well.
the Sahuagin Sekula standing before these statues. Fear begins to take all of you, but you notice she stands strong. And out of terror, three of
I'm
you
gone.
immediately flee back down the hallway you came.
Oh. Awesome.
You noticed your companions have fled from
I
Junior.
stand up a little straighter. And I kind of brace myself on the ground,
you. Mm-hmm.
and I just say, leave in Celestial.
Okay. You shout this out to the room?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to reposition you here slightly. As you do that, you notice that your voice echoes through this cavernous space. The ceiling seems much higher here than would be reasonable. Past these statues, you see 2 chests flanking a throne that seems to be made of coral. Very bold of you to assume that you hold power in my domain. And you see a webbed hand kind of claw at the doorway at the far end of the room. And before you stands the flesh and blood of these statues. You see her slowly cross over and take a seat on the coral throne, relaxing, staring you down. I don't often see a Firbolg.
Firbolg often don't veer from their homeland.
Agreed. Others were with you, yes? 3 more?
They'll be back.
I'm sure they will. She turns, snaps her webbed fingers, and you see the power of the statue seems to die away. And whatever presence that was causing this almost seems to flow into her herself. What brings you to Gretchen? The 3 of you in the other room feel the fear flee from you a bit. Whatever is causing this effect still seems to hold a presence over your mind, but you feel like you can move back towards this area, if you wish.
I stare her straight forward and I say that find a new land to terrorize. This one has asked us to protect it.
I like your spirit.
I don't.
Do you seek to make a deal?
Depends. What are you offering?
No, that's not how these are made. It is you who offers something first,
I
and
already
I will
got what I want.
determine if it's worthy. Meanwhile, back in the diamond-shaped room.
What?
A few moments have passed, and clarity seems to kind of grip your mind. You know there's something evil in here.
Did we just leave her alone in a room that didn't feel natural?
I mean, we had to. Did you see the nose on that statue?
Did I get a good enough look to know what the statue was of?
Roll a nature check for me.
Okay. Alright. Do your nature check, and, yeah...
Eso,
17.
I think you might also be able to make one on this, and Fink, I would allow you also.
Nature?
I think each of your homelands would potentially possess one of these creatures.
Nope, still ooped out by the nose. That's a 2.
Yeah, good past that
An
nose.
unnatural 20.
An unnatural 20.
Yeah.
Fink
17.
And Iniara. Yeah, you know what these things are, and it is not good news. You recognize these horrific faces as sea hags. Not always a sea, sometimes a lake, sometimes other bodies of water. But this is definitely one of those.
I think we just left her with a hag.
I agree. I don't think that was a good thing.
No.
I don't really feel up to taking this on right now.
No, but, I also
You
don't
gotta get
know
her
if
out
I
of there.
feel right just leaving her there.
No, she's too innocent.
Way too innocent. I can just see Petunia's really this, like, mastermind evil person. This is all just a facade the whole time.
Oh man, you guys weren't supposed to guess that till later. Dang it, the surprise is ruined.
Shall we?
Why? Why don't we just beat the snot out of this one like we have everything else here?
Alright, Iso will take the lead and I will throw spells from the distance like I'm supposed to.
Well, no, you both seemed rather spooked. I mean...
You ran too.
I have a thing about weird noses, okay? There, it's out. I try to accept everyone equally, but sometimes it just ooks me out, okay?
I think it was more of the hag than the hag's nose. Just to say. But, shall we, at the very least, grab Petunia and run?
I don't know what a sea hag is.
You see one of her long, clawed fingers slowly move some of the kelp away that is her hair.
Are you back to Petunia, or?
I can be. If
I
you
was
guys
just
are presumably rushing forward.
Yeah, we're gonna probably go back.
I say, okay, if it's a deal you want, then I suggest you leave this place, or very soon you will probably die.
Oh.
No, shins are breaking down.
Oh no, your jokes. My sisters will definitely love this.
I'm sure they will, as they'll love me and my friends. We're quite lovable, you know.
Again, we don't need to do this the hard way. And I will say you guys are able to kind of make it back into the room here, and you see the bluish-green skin of the statuesque Gretchen sitting across her coral throne lazily. Seaweed partially coming off to one side. The odor of rotten seaweed is very strong at this point. Casually
Oh,
discussing
God.
with Petunia.
In the corner again.
Again, I offer a bargain and you keep offering threats.
I told you to leave. My bargain was leave or us.
No, my sisters and I have way too much to gain from this land to simply leave. Perhaps
Then
a
what
different
would-
offer will be better.
The offer of a richer harvest?
Curious. You seek to see this
Per-
land prosper.
Perhaps we could find a place that would also make you prosper better.
Curious. You have my attention again.
If we go on a search for you to find a higher concentration of what you are searching for, will you leave this area alone?
Oh, gladly.
What kind of item are you in search of?
Well, you see, this lake is under my control. The Grung work for me. Sahooligans work for me. You know that gray stone you possess?
I do.
That we need more of.
Ah. Well, me and my friends may have a way of finding out where more of it is.
I'm intrigued. I tell you what, yes, I will strike this bargain. If you are able to locate such a place, my sisters and I will leave.
I believe that's highly possible for us to do that.
I would like everyone, as you're kind of looking over this room and kind of ensnared by the Sea Hag's presence, please roll a perception check.
Are we still talking in Celestial?
You felt like you were.
Perfect.
You were back to common.
Cool.
You don't know when it changed, but it did.
I got a nat 20 on that perception.
Unnatural 20 on my part.
All right. Remind me what languages you speak.
Common and gnomish, I think.
Okay.
But
Gotcha. And Iara, and, well, Think. Think, you notice that written across one of the walls behind the throne are some very unique-looking letters. A lot of it looks like it should be written in common, but not quite. They don't quite match up. You kind of notice what you'd probably call a 6, and then an A, and then another 6, and an A, and a space. That one's a backwards R. That's really weird. An A, kind of an R, and an A. You don't know what it means, though. But in Iara, you can read it.
Me and my how many
Also-
languages?
I know Dwarvish and Undercommon too.
7.
I found
Oh,
it.
you know Undercommon as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can also read it.
Common.
You recognize this as Undercommon.
Okay.
And the name written on the wall is Baba Yaga.
Mm.
Ah, that's cool.
All right. And
What was this one's name again?
I
Michelle
have
or
no
something?
idea what that says.
I'm sorry?
This
What
is
was
Gretchen.
one? What did they say? Oh, Gretchen.
Yeah, the name of this hag is Gretchen. Greasy Gretchen, to be specific.
Okay.
No reasoning, but, you know,
Not at all.
yeah.
technically Petunia could read it, right? With Petunia's ability.
Yeah, she could.
I very well could,
And you do.
and I do. And
Iso is just staring at the
Petunia
floor.
doesn't know what it means, but outside of game, one knows a little bit.
Don't you?
I'd say Baba Yaga should be well
Roll me
known
a
in the
history
universe.
check, Petunia.
Oh, ooh. Do I get to use my knowledge? No.
No?
I rolled
The
a 3.
name sounds familiar, but you don't know why.
Hmm.
Something
I was
back in the slumbering woods, but you don't know why. Curious though. Transitioning back over to Gretchen. Do we have an accord?
We do. We'll be able to find these.
You see her slowly kind of reach a hand down and begin to stroke the chest to her left, and you notice that the chest kind of ripples and undulates with it, almost enjoying it like it's being pet.
Oh my god, it's a mimic! Is it a mimic?
Go poke
Uh,
it.
You don't know.
We don't know. And I turned to my friends and I said, I believe we have a way of completing our endeavor. Just might
I
involve more
feel
work.
a little invested in what you're doing. Do you have business elsewhere in my caverns, or should I send you back to the shore?
We were told to get everyone out of the area. So if you just get everyone out of the area, we can just leave right away and go find what the gray stones are.
And out of the
Where
area,
they
you
are.
mean all of us together on the shoreline?
Well,
That does sound like a play on words, doesn't it?
Man, I'm
Sounds
not.
like I'd be leading you into a trap, yes?
I know enough. I've dealt
Mhm.
with enough on a daily basis.
so no, we're gonna head back the way we came because we do have that one red
I
friend.
tell you what, this will prove useful to me in the future. Give me 5 coins from the bag that you procured not too long ago.
Why? If I
That's
have to
all I
use
require for
persuasion,
payment.
I would totally do it.
To send you and those that you have saved from my caverns. 5 coins.
From our caverns back to the city. Or back to the shore.
To the shore. It is up to you then to take care of them. They're no longer my problem.
Does outside, do I know that other people can understand us at this point since we've had a little bit of back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, I guess to fully clarify here, all of you are able to understand this conversation that's going back and forth. It is not being held in a language you don't understand. It is open conversation,
Cool.
technically directed at the entire group. So if anybody wishes any input, like any other, feel free.
I look towards everyone, just kind of like seeing if anyone has an interruption or something they want to say to make the situation different.
2 coins, and I'll use persuasion if I can.
You can certainly try.
I helped him because I did say that earlier.
Sure, I'll give you advantage.
Okay. 16 total.
16 total. Hate when people negotiate with me in that manner. 4 coins and we have a deal.
3!
Right, 4 with tax.
So that equals 5.
I'm sure. I think this
No,
is
I think we'll just walk our way back.
a raft big
We
enough
made
to
one
bring
deal, this is
everybody
the
over.
second.
A raft is not big
Point of
enough, is it?
interest, Did we secure that raft on the shore?
I don't think we did. I think
Sort of. You pulled it onto shore.
as
Hopefully it's
much
still there.
Wasn't sure
as
if we
we
did or
don't
not.
want to do deals, this might a lesser evil for greater good.
Well, here's
I'm always up for a deal. Okay.
well. I was gonna say we don't even know what these coins are. If they really wanted, if they were a gift for Sokola and Gretchen the Greasy doesn't like Sokola, what do you do? Stop. I haven't
I'm
been
already-
like.
Nope, I'm already reaching in and fingering through the bag.
Okay. You kind of
But-
reach into the bag and feel around. There is a considerable number of coins in this. You fish out 5, and just taking a quick look at scattering of them, you notice that on one side is the side profile of a very handsome-looking man, and on the other is a raven's wings outstretched with a castle in the center.
Do these ring any bells for?
Not a clue. These look like no coins you have ever seen. They do not
Hand
look
over
like
5.
currency for any country that exists. You see her reach out a very long fingered clawed hand and kind of summon the coins to her, and they kind of all float in the air to her hand. And you see her kind of continuing to pet the chest next to her and feed the 5 coins into it.
She just fed the quivering chest 5 coins.
Yes.
I stand there, I tuck the bag and I tie it back to my belt. A deal has been made.
And with that, you all blink, and there are 4 of you standing on the shoreline, looking back towards the Grung encampment, seeing your raft slowly bobbing on the edge of the shoreline of the encampment itself. You look around, there are the 6 humans with you of the
thank God.
village, all looking rather stunned, but they're standing there as well.
I was just about to say, oh shit, we left them in there.
No, that was part of the deal. I immediately shrink down into myself and says, "There, we saved you."
Well, that was rather nice
If
of
could
you.
see Fink's face, it would just be like,
It would be
And-
stone-faced.
Don't touch the slime. Don't touch it. Don't touch. No touchy.
With
No
the deal with
touchy.
the egg coming to a conclusion, we will call that for tonight, and we will move forward with the next piece of the adventure next week.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Fink almost died.
Not every combat encounter needs to be an encounter. Sometimes you can talk your way through all of it.
You mean we could have talked through Fink's drowning?
Yeah, you
Yes.
could have talked her way through Fink's drowning.
Oh, Fink's
Very
drowning.
possible. Anyway,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that, we'll say good night to everyone watching. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Night.